The history of India. India has an amazing history full of vibrant civilizations, religions, and cultures, reaching back to the Stone Age. It's one of the oldest known civilizations and has significantly impacted the world for centuries and continues to do so today. While we can't cover all of India's history in one video, it's definitely worth exploring. Evidence like cave paintings and stone tools shows that humans were active in India between 400,000 and 200,000 BC. Details about those early people are unknown, but one of the first advanced societies in India was the Harappan people who lived along the Indus River. They had a unique writing system, a complex social and economic system, and impressive urban cities. Around 1500 BC, their civilization ended, possibly due to natural disasters like floods or invasions. Next came the Vedic Aryans, migrants who spoke early Sanskrit and valued their tribal identity. They're named after the Vedas, sacred texts that give us insight into their lives and beliefs. These texts are considered the oldest Hindu scriptures, and by around 1000 BC, the Vedic Aryans had spread their culture across much of India. They believed that happiness and salvation came from one's morals and ethics, with a life path based on righteousness. The Vedic Aryan social system had three tiers: Brahmin, priests; Kshatriya, warriors; and Vaishya, commoners. As they spread their settlements, they influenced culture and trade. By the 4th century BC, 16 individual states emerged in northern India, including Gandhara, Kosala, Kuru, and Magadha. Magadha thrived under Chandragupta Maurya's rule, forming the first Indian empire, the Maurya Empire. The Maurya Empire's capital was Pataliputra, modern-day Patna, known for its magnificent temples, libraries, palaces, and even a university. The empire excelled in trade, governance, and military strength. The third emperor, Ashoka, embraced nonviolence after a brutal war with Kalinga due to his new Buddhist beliefs. By Ashoka's time, Buddhism, founded by Siddhartha Gautama, born in 560 BC, was spreading throughout India. Despite its success, the Mauryan Empire dissolved in the 2nd century BC after the last Mauryan ruler. The dynasty lost its significance and didn't achieve much. During this time, India saw the rise of many settlements and invading powers, including the Kushan kingdom. Known for their extensive trade with the Chinese, Persian, and Roman empires along the Silk Road, the Kushans played a significant role in the region. One of their rulers, Kanishk, converted to Buddhism and helped spread the religion further. In 75 AD, the Kushan kingdom marked the beginning of the Shaka era. Meanwhile, in the south, other powerful kingdoms like Satavahana, Chera, Chola, and Pandya emerged, competing for dominance. In northern India, the Gupta Empire rose during the Classical Age, uniting the region and ushering in a golden age of law, order, and cultural flourishing. The Gupta rulers preferred peaceful expansion through marriage alliances rather than military action. Despite their success, the empire began to decline between the 5th and 6th centuries due to invasions by the Huns from Central Asia. As Buddhism and Hinduism thrived, local and invading powers continued to fight for control. The next major shift came with the arrival of Islam. Muslim invaders started missions to India a century after the death of Prophet Muhammad. Various Muslim sultans led expeditions, capturing places like Sindh, Multan, and Somnath, and destroying Hindu temples along the way. The Rajputs fiercely defended against the invaders, but were ultimately defeated in 1192 by Muhammad Ghori and his forces. As Islam spread, Buddhism began to decline. By the 13th century, the Delhi Sultanate emerged, with Qutbuddin Aibak founding the first dynasty, the Slave Dynasty. This dynasty ruled until around 1290, when the Khilji dynasty took over under Jalaluddin Khilji. The Khiljis ruled for less than a century before the Tughlaq dynasty seized power in 1320. Despite retaining power until 1412, the Tughlaqs faced complications from Timur's invasion in 1398. As the Tughlaq dynasty weakened, the Sayyid dynasty replaced them in 1414. The Sayyids ruled for about 37 years, but eventually fell due to rebellion and discord. After the fall of the Sayyid dynasty, the Lodi dynasty took the throne. It lasted until 1526 when the then ruler, Ibrahim Khan Lodi, was killed in the Battle of Panipat by Babur, the leader of Kabul. This marked the end of the Delhi Sultanate. Babur then established the Mughal dynasty, which became one of history's greatest empires. The Mughal Empire, of Turkic-Mongol origin, ruled most of India for over 2 centuries, bringing significant cultural growth and architectural wonders, such as the Taj Mahal. Despite their success, the Mughal Empire began to decline in the early 18th century due to revolts and threats from the Marathas and the British. The British East India Company had been in India for some time, and their control escalated after the Mughal decline. By 1857, local dissatisfaction led to the Indian Mutiny, also known as the First War of Indian Independence. Though the British suppressed the rebellion after a few months, it had lasting impacts. In response, Queen Victoria declared on November 1, 1858, that India would be ruled in the name of the British Crown. Despite the British control, nationalist sentiments continued to grow. Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian National Congress led the non-cooperation movement after World War I, withdrawing cooperation with the British government. When this failed, Gandhi started the civil disobedience movement in December 1929, declaring Indian Independence Day on January 16th and disobeying British orders. Although Gandhi was arrested and some rebels were killed, the movement had a significant impact. The British eventually held round-table conferences starting in November 1930, attended by Gandhi, but these also failed, leading to further civil disobedience. Gandhi's Quit India movement during World War II also didn't achieve immediate success, but the conclusion of the war and a sympathetic new Labour Party in India shifted the momentum. Finally, on August 15, 1947, India became an independent nation.